What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the college basketball slate on January 4th. Only got a little 3-game slate, so it's going to be a short video. We're just going to get into a few players, but regardless, still got to get into it. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. I know I've been gone for like a week and a half, but just dealing with some Christmas stuff, family stuff, but we're back here for good, for a long haul. Going to be making videos for college basketball pretty much every single day from here on out. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe on that, and I'll be starting NBA content next week. Next Monday, I will be doing my first NBA video, so be sure to be on the lookout for that as well. If you want to get the spreadsheet or projections, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description below. It's only $5 a month, and you are going to get this spreadsheet with projections. It gives you all the stats you need to know. It's only $5 a month every single day. So even when I don't make a video, I still put out the projections. So be sure to look out for that. And go hit that link below. But let's get into the players. Where the first game we're going to start talking about is Maryland versus Indiana. This game has an implied total of 137.5. It is this out of all that's the middle game when it comes to total on the slate. The high total game is the next game we'll talk about. Maryland has an implied team total of 65, and Indiana has an implied team total of 69.6. Both are fine. It's going to be slight decreases in their team's averages for the year, but when you go look at average compared to the slate, it's going to still be a slight decrease because you're going to have these two teams that are going to be boosting it up, but it's still a fine spot to get after. When we go look at the pace, this game has an overall pace of 69.15, which is going to be the slowest pace game on the entire slate, so that's not great to look at, but Maryland does have a nice pace-up spot going up against Indiana, where Indiana is going to have a pace-down spot going up against Maryland. When we look at the players I am interested in this game, for Maryland, I'm interested in Aaron Wiggins, Hakeem Hart, and Dante Scott. And for Indiana, I'm interested in A.J. Durham, Armand Franklin, Trace Jackson Davis, and Trey Galloway. So for Maryland, Daryl Morcell is going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks. He had like face injury or something. He had surgery, and they say he's going to be back in 1 to 2 weeks. So, all right, that's fine. But that's going to just boost up some of these guards. I didn't put Eric Ayala in this video, but him and Aaron Wiggins are going to be boosted up because of this. I'd expect him to get a little bit of a higher usage rate and see some more minutes. So I am interested in both those guys. And then Hakeem Hart should just see more minutes based off this anyway. So I have Hakeem Hart projected for 29 minutes. He's only $4,800. And that just is going to look like a nice value on the slate overall. And when he's out there, he does have a usage rate 19, which isn't bad. An assist rate 10, only a rebound rate of 7.1, so that does look good. Aaron Wiggins right now has a usage rate of 23.1. I gave him 35 minutes, which is more than he's been averaging, but I just think without Daryl Morcell, he's just going to see more minutes, and I expect that usage rate to go up as well. I do really like both Wiggins and Eric Ayala, both the Maryland guards, because I do think they're just going to have higher usage rate, higher assist rate. Aaron Wiggins is only a .78 point per minute guy, but if his usage rate does go up, is what I expect to happen, that point per minute will come up as well. So I do think Aaron Wiggins is great as a really good play on the slate. And then Dante Scott is just their forward. He plays most minutes on his team. I gave him 39 today. He's a .94 point per minute producer, has a usage rate of 18.7 and a high rebound rate of 14.7. I think that grades out really well for him. He just looks like a solid play overall on the slate. Then you got the Indiana guys, where we're going to be talking about A.J. Durham, Armand Franklin, Trace Jackson Davis, and Trey Galloway. A.J. Durham, I've been projected for 32 minutes. He's a .62 point per minute producer, which isn't great, but he does have a usage rate of 17.6 and an assist rate of 19.9. That's the part that I really like, is that high assist rate for A.J. Durham. That's just something that can produce some good fantasy points, and he's $6,300. It's not really you're not breaking the bank to get to him. Then Armand Franklin, 7,000. I have him projected for 34 minutes. He's a .8 point per minute producer, has a higher usage rate of 22.7, and only an assist rate of 15.6, but the overall usage rate does look good for me. I think I prefer Durham just because I'm saving $700, but Franklin looks like a good play too. I like going to both of them. Trace Jackson Davis is the best player on Indiana this year. He's probably going to go to the NBA next year. He's $9,000. You're going to have to pay to get him, but I do have him projected for 33 minutes. He's almost a 2 point per minute producer. Actually, I'm sorry. He's almost a 1.1 point per minute producer. Has a usage rate of 31.7, which is, I think, the highest usage rate of anybody on this entire slate. So he's got the highest usage rate of anybody on the slate. I think he's worth paying for. He's got a high rebound rate of 15.2 as well. Sort of big power forward. I guess he'd really play center, but in the NBA he'd be a power forward. So Trace Jackson Davis is definitely someone I do like to target here. I think he's worth paying that price on today's slate. There's not really a ton of like super studs that we got to get into. There's pretty much two guys that you're paying up for, and Trace Jackson Davis is one of the guys I like to go to. Trey Galloway at 4,400 is going to project as a value. I've given him 27 minutes. He's only a 0.5 point per minute producer, but if he's going to play 27 minutes at $4,400 on his slate where there's really not that much value, I think that's a good play to go after. He's definitely someone I am interested in and would like to get some exposure to. Now we're going to go talk about West Virginia and Oklahoma State. This is the game I was talking about, the really high total. It has a total of 143. It's by far the highest total game on the slate. West Virginia is going to have a total of 72.2, and Oklahoma State is a total of 71.6. So we should get a close competitive game today. That is something that I do like to see. When we go look at pace, this is also going to be the highest pace game on the slate. It has projected pace of 74.3. That is the highest pace on the entire slate. It's going to be a nice bump for both teams when we're looking at pace. I do like this spot a lot for both these teams. And then we'll go talk about the players, where I'm interested in Jalen Bridges, Emmett Matthew Jr.'s, and Miles McBride on West Virginia. So Oscar Tshiebwe left the program. I guess he's going to transfer after this year. That's what the college basketball players do. And if they want to be eligible for next season, they have to leave in the middle of the year. So, or I think leave by the end of this year. So they had to leave by the end of January 1st, basically. So he's out. So Jalen Bridges came in and played 27 minutes, and he had played 17 minutes a game before. His minutes are going up. This is a guy that's stepping into the starting lineup, it looks like, and he's kind of going to play some minutes. He's only $3,900 too, so if we're going to get 27 minutes, even if we're only going to get 24 out of him at $3,900, I think that's a really good play for Jalen Bridges. This is definitely something I want to get to. I don't really have any stats for him right now, but hopefully we will get those in the coming days. But for now, at 27 minutes at $3,900, I think that is a very good play in a nice pace-up spot against Oklahoma State. I think this is a good spot to target him. Emmett Matthews Jr. is $5,300. This is just another spot that I think is probably a little too cheap. I have him projected for 28 minutes. He hasn't been the best point per minute producer at .577. Only has a usage rate of 15.8. But 28 minutes at $5,300 is going to project out as a pretty good value. So I do like getting there. And then Miles McBride is going to be my favorite play on this team. I think he's way too cheap at $6,600. I was doing my projections today, and I just hadn't even put in the salaries. And I was expecting Miles McBride to be in the 7K range, and he was $6,600. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's just way too cheap. I think he just projects out as a great value. A .95 point per minute producer, has a usage rate of 22.3 and an assist rate of 24.8. He's been their best player on this team, and I think even without Oscar Tshiebwe, that's going to help him out a little bit. Although Oscar Tshiebwe wasn't really that high of a usage guy, but it's still going to maybe give him a little 1% more of usage. 38 minutes for him. This is one of my favorite players in the country too. I love watching Miles McBride. I think he's one of the better guards in the country. I think we might be talking about him as a National Player of the Year candidate if he sticks around another year. So I do think this is way too cheap for him. He projects out as one of the best plays on the slate for me, and he's definitely someone I want to get to. Now for Oklahoma State, we got Cade Cunningham, Rondell Walker, and Isaac Akili. Cade Cunningham's going to cover. We all know who Cade Cunningham is at this point. I mean, he's going to be a top 5 draft pick next year. One of the best guards in the country, 6'8" point guard. Those guys just don't come around that often. I have Cade Cunningham projected for 37 minutes. He's a 1.08 point per minute producer. He has the highest usage rate on the team at 29.4 and a very high assist rate at 22.5. He's just doing a lot for this team. This is the other pay-up spot I'd like to get to. I'd like to get into Trace Jackson Davis, but I also like paying up for Cade Cunningham. I think both these pay-up spots look very, very good for me. Rondell Walker projects out as a little bit of a value, but honestly, after talking about Jalen Bridges, I think I'd rather just go there. But Rondell Walker, I do have projected for 22 minutes, and at 3,800, that is going to project out as a nice little value. I have him. He is a 0.7 point per minute producer, has a usage rate of 18.5. So when he's out there, he's actually doing he's doing stuff. It's not like he's just kind of walking around after shooting a three here and there. But if we get 22 minutes from him, he should hit value. And I don't think he's going to be as highly owned as someone like Jalen Bridges today on this 3-game slate. So there's a little bit of leverage to go there. Isaac Akili, $7,700. He's been the second best player in Oklahoma State. He's been the guy at Oklahoma State for the past few years. Whenever I watched him, this guy's balled out for them. But usage rate and everything's come down a little bit this year. He's a 0.78 point per minute producer. He has a usage rate of only 13.4, but he does still have a high assist rate of 18.9, and he does have a nice rebound rate of 12.3. Kind of just does a little bit of everything out there, so he is worth that $7,700 tag, in my opinion. I don't hate getting there at all. I think he's probably someone who might go a little bit overlooked on his slate when I think a lot of people are just going to want to pay up for both Cade Cunningham and Trace Jackson Davis. Isaac Akili might go a little bit under the radar, so he could be someone to plug into some lineups. Now the last game we're going to talk about is San Diego State versus Colorado State. When we go look at this game environment, it is a total of 135.5. That is the lowest overall total on the slate, but San Diego State's pretty big favorites. They're going to have Indiana and Maryland, so that's fine for them. Colorado State, maybe not as much. When we go look at the pace of this game, it's a 69.65 overall pace game. It's slightly faster paced than Indiana, Maryland, but really similar still. Um, it's going to be a pace-up spot for San Diego, or for San Diego State, and a slight pace-down spot for Colorado State. The two guys I'm interested in on San Diego State are Trey Pulliam and Jordan Shackle. Problem with San Diego State is they spread out their minutes a lot. Like, the expensive guys just aren't going to play in the upper 30s of minutes for the most part. But Trey Pulliam's been playing. He played 31 minutes last game. I'm going to give it to him again. He's only a .59 point per minute producer, but he does have a usage rate of 16.5 and assist rate 22.6. He may not get to 31 minutes, but overall that's still going to project out as a really nice value for me, and that looks like someone I definitely want to target. Jordan Shackles, $6,200. I have him projected for 32 minutes. He's a .709 point per minute producer with a usage rate 21.1. He also just looks like a pretty solid play at 6,200, although I would say there's probably other guys in the 6K range, like Miles McBride, I'd rather get to, but I do think Jordan Shackles still projects out well. And the two guys on Colorado State that I'm going to be interested in are Kendall Moore and Isaiah Stevens. Kendall Moore is $5,700. I'm projected for 34 minutes. He's a .775 point per minute producer. Usage rate 20.2 and assist rate 17.1. I think that's just way too cheap for that $5,700 price tag. You're going to get 34 minutes and those percentage rates from him. I think those are definitely spots that we'd like to attack. I think Kendall Moore looks like a very, very good play on the slate. And Isaiah Stevens at $7,400. I'm projected for 40 minutes. He's been playing a ton on his team. He's their best player. .93 point per minute producer with usage rate 22.2 and assist rate 35.6. Honestly, Isaiah Stevens should be like 8K in the 8K range where Cade Cunningham and Trace Jackson Davis are, but he's a place for Colorado State, so they're not going to put him up there. And I think Isaiah Stevens could just be an absolute smash play today, but no one's really going to get there, so I'm definitely like to go to him. But I think that's really all I got to say. Make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know who you think the best play on the slate is in the comments below. Make sure to hit that. Make sure to subscribe to that Patreon. Only $5 a month. You're going to get projections every single day. So thank you guys so much for checking this out, and I hope you guys make some money tonight.